Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. This one is going to be about my 2022 Toyota 4Runner, and this one is a limited, and I'm gonna do a quick walk around and show you around my car. Yeah, it's a little dirty, but this is it. This is my 4Runner. It's a limited. It's a 2022. I've had it since it was new, so I am the only owner of the vehicle. It is in, I don't remember the exact paint color, but it is gray. All of this black that I have right here and all these badges, they used to be chrome, but I did black those out. Not everything, not all of these badges over here. The door handles are still chrome. The car is a little dirty and a little dusty. This is because I drive it a lot and don't really have the time to clean it. This is the cargo area. It's really roomy. And honestly, I do recommend this car to anyone, especially if you have like a family, if you have kids. It's pretty reliable. I've had a couple hiccups with it, but nothing that's like terrible. So if I take this out, I actually have a third row. Honestly, I don't know why they added a third row to this car. There is no room for anything. There's literally zero like room for that third row. Got your JBL sound system, a first aid kit, and then your jacks down here, and you have a spare under the car. You got speakers up here, and the sound system is actually amazing in this car. People say it's not the best, and I mean, obviously there's better, but this is actually great. You can actually roll down the window holding this button if you have your key with you, and you can open this back glass up. And it's probably the best thing about owning a 4Runner, and I can guarantee you, people that have 4Runners, they love rolling that back glass down. It's great if you have dogs. You put your dog in the trunk actually, and they absolutely love it, having the window rolled down a little bit. And this is cool to see on the road. It's a little dirty. I have some like old extra t-shirts in here, a little extra hat for filming, but yeah, I mean, there's a ton of room back here. There's a snow brush. Didn't really get to use that much, but it's really roomy back here. This seat's actually reclined further back than my driver position. I am 5'10", and honestly, there's so much room back here. It's great. You could fit 3 adults back here comfortably. Now for the back, the third row, I feel like that's got to be some sort of like emergency seat if you gotta get in and you gotta go. But yeah, I don't really see that getting used much. Easy in and easy out, really. You have your child locks and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's really basic stuff. There's my GoPro equipment. It's a little dirty in here. I did clean it up before winter started, but this is really just from parking lots and getting in and out of old parking lots. Yeah, really nice seats. These seats are really comfortable, and the limited comes with all this wood paneling. It's not real wood, but it's limited, right? Yeah, but this car is great. I love this car. It's actually so nice, and it really does offer peace of mind owning one of these, because I can just hop in and go anywhere I want without worrying. Gas mileage is, it's okay. It could be better. It's a little dirty and dusty back here. I did, when I bought the vehicle, I did put in an AFE cold air intake. I did notice a difference in fuel economy and overall sound. And you can actually, you can pop this out, and if you pop it out, it actually, you can hear it a little more than with it in. This took forever to put on because there's a couple screws that don't want to work down there. But overall, in the end, we did get it to work. It was me and my buddy. But yeah. You get the 20-inch wheels. There's not really much to it. It takes regular gas. Tires are great. They come with okay tires. I won't lie. There are better tires on the market. Really dirty in here, so don't mind all the dust on the dirt. But yeah, this is the overall position. Like I said, there's so much room in that second row. Even sitting behind myself, I'm 5'10", and I'm a pretty big dude. So getting in and out, having that comfortable seating position is actually great. Nice little startup animation. It is almost time for an oil change, which will probably get taken care of in the next week or two. You get your window controls, your door controls, mirror controls. You actually have a 360 view camera. This is your front camera and then your 360 camera. And you could set it to where if you're approaching a stop or you're at a certain speed, the camera will automatically turn on. These are your side cameras. And that's it. And you have your power for the power outlet in the back, and then your wiper heaters. And yeah, I mean, regular Toyota switchgear. If you've had Toyotas before, you've probably very used to these. And my favorite button in the car, favorite stock. Never use it, but it's fun to play with when I get bored. I can show you my gas mileage. It's okay. It's been better. I've had much worse. I do a lot of local driving, and I usually get around 8. But I've done a lot of highway driving, especially today. Like I said, it has the JBL sound system. Sounds amazing. But obviously that's personal choice. I did also replace every single bulb in this car with LEDs. It normally comes with halogen. So I can't remember where I bought them exactly, but I can find it. I could get you the link. So I mean, if you're interested, just let me know in the comment section and I will find that out for you. You got lots and lots of room. You can fit a lot of stuff in there. Like I said, all these buttons. You got your sunroof up here, which is just great. Never really use that, but it's there. Back window. Best feature about this car. Back window, you roll the front two down, let the air travel through, and it goes straight through that back glass, and it doesn't mess up your hair. It's really nice, really comfortable. Lots and lots of space in here. A lot of storage space. And overall, it's a really good place to be. I absolutely love it in this car. It's comfortable, it's roomy. All the controls here for your AC, your radio, everything here is big and bulky, so it's easy to use. And honestly, it's perfect. You know where everything is. It's not buried in a screen somewhere. And it's really user-friendly. You have your heated and cooled seats, which is great. Right now I have it on heat, and then I have my fan going, and then the two front glasses open and that rear back hatch open, or the glass open at least, so all the air travels through. It can get a little cold, but I have the heated seat on, and it makes a world of a difference. You have your USB connection, your cigarette lighter port, and then this car does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Sometimes I do find it to be a little finicky after not using it for a while, but overall it's okay. I like it. And it works great most of the time, but that also could be because of my wire. But yeah, I mean, that's really it for the walk around and the interior and exterior of the vehicle. So let's get to driving. I like this shifter gear selector, but I don't know. I think it's kind of tacky with this fake wood, this plastic. But it's okay. It gets the job done, right? Alright, let's get out of here. And this car is very smooth. It drives nice. It's comfortable. And overall, I mean, there's nothing to complain about, right? It's a pretty good car. I think I can leave out of here. Hopefully I can. I think it's only blocked for exit. Awesome. This car's really easy to maneuver, easy to drive. I mean, it's just a great car, especially if you have a family, pets, everything. It's great. It's easy. Like I said, it does okay on gas. But most people really buy these for a few reasons. Most of those being reliability. That's the biggest one. This car has been on the market for so long that I think reliability is just perfect. And it's a Toyota, of course. Another thing being the off-road following that this car has, and how well known it is for its aftermarket support. And there's a few other things, but those are the biggest ones. Like I said, this is a limited, so most of these never actually go off-road. If you're really looking at serious off-roading, you're probably going to buy, depends on the budget obviously, but most people go for the TRD Pro or the TRD Off-Road or the premium version of that. Or if you really want to start from scratch and make it your own, a lot of people go base model and then just work up from there. But this is the limited, so it's a little more mall crawler package. But I have no complaints with it. It's comfortable, it's nice, I love it. If I had to get rid of it, it would only be for a truck of some sort. Any truck, I believe, would make me pretty happy with it. But I think it would have to be some sort of F-150 or Ram. But let's get on the highway here and see how this thing does on the highway. Get that sun right in my eyes. It's okay though. Pretty important thing to note is these cars do not go fast, and you really should not drive these like they are race cars. Like, it does not at all drive anywhere near the way my Corvette drives, and that is because it's a big boxy SUV. It's a brick on wheels. But it can get up to highway speeds eventually. It's not the quickest thing. You will not be surprised by its speed. It gets there eventually. Just give it its time. It's great though. I mean, I'd sacrifice a little bit of speed for a bulletproof powertrain. This thing does have the V6. I believe it's 270 horsepower with the 5-speed automatic. It's been around, I think, honestly, longer than I've been around. And I believe we're actually going to be getting a 2025 version, remodeled version, or redesigned, and I'm excited to see what that's like, because they've been putting it off for so long that I actually bought this vehicle thinking that in 2023 they were going to introduce a new model or a new design, and they actually did not, and it broke my heart because I wanted to trade this thing in a year later because the values were still so high after COVID. But it is a 2022, and well, I mean, I still love it. It's a great car. It's solid. I've had a few problems with it, honestly. Those do range, but I think the biggest one was I had a check engine light that would not go away. And if you know Toyotas, if you leave the gas cap open, you do get a check engine light that will not go away until you tighten it. So I had tightened it and let the car sit overnight, as I did find it at night, and still didn't go away. And then I tried it again. I put gas in it too to see if maybe that would help, and it did not. So I took it to the Toyota dealership and had them check it out, because the gas cap was tight, and what they found from their testing was that the cap actually had a crack in it, in the plastic itself, which led to, I think they said it wouldn't pressurize, which would turn the check engine light on, because it did say fuel system error on the screen. And that is great, because it actually tells you what is wrong with it when the check engine light comes up, which is great. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much else. I mean, you got a feel for the drive dynamic. It drives great. And I want to talk about why I chose this thing. When I was looking for a car, I was trading in a 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude. It was a great car, but it had its problems, and I wanted to get rid of that car as quick as I could for the value that I had for it. And that car, actually, I got every single penny and a little bit more back for it, which I was happy about. But I did want a 4Runner, or it was between a 4Runner or a Lexus GX. And the Lexus GX, the only problem was that I wanted certain packages, the biggest one being the sound system, the Mark Levinson. And at the time, there were no cars on the lot that I could purchase that day. I would have to get an allocation and wait a month or two, because they just weren't seeing any of those cars on their lot. So I either had to wait, or I could find one of these. I did want a TRD Pro at the time, but those were going for markups, and I was not going to pay markup for any sort of vehicle at all, because the reason that markups stayed as long as they did is because people were willing to pay for them, and I just did not believe in that. And it was a really bad thing that plagued the car industry during COVID, and I believe it's still going on in some places today, even after all the manufacturer warnings. But I ended up getting this. I drove it for a little bit. I tested out all the features and that back glass, and honestly, the biggest selling point was probably being able to roll down that glass. I wasn't looking for anything quick. I mean, if I was, I could have gotten so many other vehicles, but this, it was something that was reliable, lots of room when I need it, especially for family, because it's easier to take, let's say, one car than multiple, especially with the Corvette now. I can only take one other person, so having this car also join along, or just take this one, makes it much easier. But overall, this car did win. Honestly, I think if I was able to get a GX, I would have. But I have no buyer's remorse. Like, this car has been great to me, and I absolutely love every second of owning this thing. And it's been a really fun car to own so far. I did want to do a build on it. Nothing crazy, just a small little lift and some nice wheels and tires. Okay then. but nothing crazy, just a little bit of aesthetic stuff. And then something that would support a little bit of light off-road. I'm not really big into like the overlanding scene, but yeah, I think it would look great. And honestly, if I do decide to keep this for many more years, I might do it, or just keep this around, and then when the time comes for a new vehicle, maybe just buy a truck or just some sort of maybe luxury SUV, something a little more comfortable. This is comfortable, but I should say a little more easier in terms of maybe a little more power, and just a little more luxurious, you know, like that Lexus was. Those Lexuses are pretty torquey, and yeah, but there's not really much else. And I mean, if you're in the market for one of these, I would 100% take a look. Find the right trim for you too. I mean, there's a flavor for everyone. You have your SR5s. I believe there's an SR5 Premium. I may be wrong. You can get your TRDs if you don't want to spend the big bucks on the TRD Pro, which is completely respectable, because I honestly don't know if those are worth what they are, or if they should be worth that. You have your TRD off-roads, which are like, I think if I would go back and I had decided to mod this car, maybe lift it up, throw maybe bumpers, lights, all that stuff, I think TRD off-road Premium is probably the best bang for the buck 4Runner. But this one, it just had everything that I wanted, and this was actually one of the only cars they had on the lot, and I needed a car at the time, so I just ended up buying it, and I don't regret it at all. I mean, the only reason I say, oh, I'd want a truck or something, is just because you want to move on to better things, and new experiences too. I mean, I've had SUVs. A truck would be really cool, and it'd be pretty useful for businesses that I have, and my family has, and my friends have. So I mean, that would be really useful. All the lighting is great. I didn't switch out any of the bulbs here. This does all come standard. I did not switch out these, but there are bulbs under the mirrors that I did switch out. I switched out the reverse bulb down here, and then I did keep the regular turn signals, and I, like I mentioned, blacked out all the badges and stuff. And yeah, overall that's pretty much it. I know this video was a little bit of everything, but I think your biggest question would be, if you were watching this video, is it the perfect car for you? And I mean, that just depends on what your wants and needs are. And overall, I do recommend this car. There's nothing bad I can say about this car. It's a great car overall. And yeah, so I mean, if you have any questions, if you want to reach out, maybe have a conversation about this car in particular and how it's been and stuff I've done to it or going to do to it, or if you just have a question about the 4Runner platform, do let me know.